work session to order. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. We welcome you as you come and participate in your city government. This time, roll call will reflect that all members of Mayor and Council are present. And before we start, I want to say congratulations to Mike Rast on the birth of his first grandchild. Juliet Marie, 7 pounds, 6 pounds, and Jake.
I know. You are ruined.
At this time, we will move into our presentation portion of our meeting. Our first presentation is Linda Murray, who's going to be recognizing the Paint Town Hall. Linda? Brevity, wonderful gift.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for allowing me to come this evening and speak about our 2018 Paint Town project. It was very successful, and I just want to, I know we don't have a lot of time because the agenda is big, I understand, so I just want to go right into it and thank our sponsors and our volunteers that we have this year, and every year that we've been doing this for 6 years. We started in 2013, and now here we are, 2018, and we have accomplished and completed 64 houses in the city of Hapeville. We have, revitalized the neighborhood, restored pride to homeowners that, whether it's age or struggling with fixed income or with some type of illnesses, and they become struggling with their day-to-day expenses. In addition to the 64 houses, we have also, I went through the last 6 years, and we have completed 78 projects citywide in this community during the 2018 Paint the Town. That includes repairs, front porch, back porch, windowsills, mailboxes. We have replaced back porches, front porches, side porches. We have cleaned houses. We've done pressure wash on every house. You know, people forget about that, but you know you have to pressure wash a house every so on, because it gets dirty. And we've done projects like that. We have sealed concrete porch to make them safe. And there's just many other little bitty things that we do. Pine straw, beautification, plant flowers. And when we get out there, we don't know. Maybe a person says, I really wish that was fixed, but we talked about it, and that wasn't on our plan for the, for doing my house. And I said, we have the volunteers, we'll do it. I don't like turning anybody away. I'd like to thank, just generally, our sponsors and our volunteers. Porsche is one of our major and our main sponsor in funding, buying all the paintbrushes, paint, and so forth. Wells Fargo gives us a grant. Medicine Only, they bring out 70 people. Cavot, they bring about 65 people. Chick-fil-A feeds us for lunch. Marco's Pizza feeds us for lunch. AmeriCorps, Clayton State, they come out and help, and that's a young group that comes out. This year we had the Atlanta Harlequins rugby group, great group. Team Pelkey, Kelly, her team has been with us every year, constant. We can always depend on them, and we don't have to make sure things are done, they get it done. We have our pressure washing crew, which is John, my husband Richard Murray, my son Matthew Murray, and Councilman Mark Adams. And then Travis, he didn't do the pressure washing, but he did help on one of the houses on Jonesboro Road. We need the pressure washing done, so that is probably a harder job than painting, because you get awful dirty. You gotta get in corners where you just don't think your body can fit to do it. Our Hateful Cares group, that's always there every day for the 5-day period until we're finished. And then, of course, our mayor, and I'm sorry, Mayor, you did help with Richard this year.
Yeah.
Mayor Holman was one of our pressure washing guys, so we thank you for that. And then there's many other, too many to think, but Team Healthy, you can make sure you tell all your group how much we appreciate. And then there were some hateful people, citizens throughout the community that popped in and helped for 2-3 days. I know Eva did, she was there. She handled all the sorting and organizing, and Allison did too, help with the paint and organizing everything. I don't know what I'd do without them. So with that, I'd like to just go ahead and just present, just don't know how much that I personally appreciate it, because it was my vision to do this project, and it's been so successful, and it's helped a lot of people. And that's what it's all about, is helping people they can't help, or in a time of need. So with that, I'd like to present the first one to Porsche. Alan, would you come? And Alan has been there every year helping me and organizing and keeping the team straight, even though she wasn't the team leader, but she's very good at what she does. So on behalf of Hateful Cares and the people that we help, I'd like to give this to Force and tell them how much that we appreciate all the volunteers that come out and help us achieve it. And the certificate from the city and our thank you letter. We so appreciate it. Yeah, you heard that.
It is our favorite, our top volunteer activity that we do through the Porsche Care Network. So we're very proud of that, and we look forward to it every year. So it's a great project.
Thank you. Thank you. Fargo's not here, so next one, Meadows and Ollie. John and Richard, come on.
She go you too?
Richard's the eldest of the group. I want to say that here's just a snapshot. I know you probably can't see them real well. We do have a video, and I'll put it back on Facebook. I think it's already on there. But please try to just stop by and look at these, because it captures just a little bit of the dedication and the fun that we had throughout those full 5 days. So here's your bag. And here's the paint the town. Oh, we did that upside down. Here, give me another one.
You got one, Richard.
We just got the latest. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Anyway, that's not Richard made the plaques.
But no, I can put.
Oh, not the plaques, but this part.
on.
No, that's okay. It looks good. It's kind of cute. But anyway, thank you. Tell all your staff. They came out, 70 very well organized group of people. They had 4 or 5 houses that they did. They dedicated their time to those houses, and they did repairs, they did steps, they did banisters, you name it. So we do appreciate them. They come from all over to come to our city to do this, so we thank you both. I'm gonna pretty much say it's Larry's group, because he comes, I contact him, and then we get the ball rolling, so. Yeah, and I'm telling you what, we had a wonderful time with this group. They did a lot of debris cleaning. I mean, they just knocked it out of the park everywhere in the communities. And so we just can't say enough about these people. I love your group, appreciate it so much that you're dedicated each year to come out. And they bring half their employees in the morning, and then they have a half of them that come in the afternoon. So we're covered for the full day. So we really appreciate you, and please go back and tell everybody. Thank you. Chick-fil-A's not here. Marco's Pizza. We are they've helped us, and we appreciate them. They actually, we had Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's had to pull back a little bit, and Marco's Pizza stepped up, and they fed our volunteers one day. And it was a lot of them, and we certainly appreciate that you've taken the time to help our volunteers so they can continue doing their work and everything. So the pizzas were awesome, and we certainly appreciate it. We certainly appreciate the support.
Great. Well,
So with
that's
that-
the least we can do. We love being in the city, so.
Okay, good. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
We'll have it up in our facility.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you again. Thank you. And let's see, the last would be, let's see, who else is here? We have Marcus, let's give, do we have any more bags? Okay, no more bags. Okay, let's see who else is here. Healthy. I left some of them at home, because Marco's, Chick-fil-A, Cab Out, and everything, Wells Fargo's not here. The rest of them, we got Team Pelkey, but we'll give them the certificate, you'll get a bag, and let me give the t-shirt. Because I have to do something a little extra special for our hateful people. But anyway, this is another t-shirt, but we have a bag from the city of Hateville as well. And thank you so much, Cheryl, for all your support and gathering your team together. Okay, City of Hateville, yeah, y'all don't get a bag. City of Hateville helped, well, they gave us $500 to help go toward the $1,500 for the t-shirts that we provided to all our volunteers, so they wouldn't wear their own clothes. You see Brian, and Mary Ann.
I think they did that at home just
Same shirts from Mary.
Yeah, this represents 6 years of.
Yeah.
We wear the same shirt every
Same
year.
shirt, you know.
So this has a little bit of every house that we've done, and it has John Little's house on it from the first
Oh,
year.
bless you. John
That was our
passed
first
away.
house.
Yes,
Yeah.
So on behalf of Hateville Cares and all the volunteers, we appreciate that y'all support us in that way. And here's your,
Awesome.
and thank you, and here's, the certificate comes from the city of Hateville, but that's our. I don't think your name's on there, but you won't get a bag. Thank you. And the last one is the person who makes our t-shirts, and that's Go Sports Warehouse. He couldn't be here, but I'm going to give it to Todd, if you don't mind, because if you see him, if he comes to the recreation department, since he doesn't live anywhere around here. He helps, he does it every year. All I have to do is say, paint town t-shirts, and he is just, Mr. Moss is just wonderful to do those for us and everything. So we'd like to give him a certificate and a thank you letter and a t-shirt
Thank you.
on behalf. And I have to say something about just a little bit, my Hateville Cares people. Hmm?
You done with me?
Well, yeah. Anyway, I just want to say thank you, our Hateful Cares people, that come out every year, and they work hard. They, everybody has their own little thing that they do, and they know what to do, and we just get it done. And not only do we do that, but we do monthly goodie bags, that we do outreach in our community. That some of the people that we reach out to in our goodie bags, we find out that they're having financial really problems and everything, and then they become part of the list for the Paint the Town. We try to do something to help them, even if it's just, fixing up their yard. I mean, their yard is they haven't been able, they can't cut, they don't have lawnmower or whatever it may be. We go over there and we do that for them. We do that throughout the year. We do that if people go in the hospital. We go over there and cut their grass. So, and we also do the chili cook-off, which comes up in October the 19th, which is our fundraiser that we do to help purchase our bags and the decorations, because we just don't give them a bag. We actually decorate them and make them feel like it's a gift. And it's a gift that we love our community and we love our neighbors in it. So, thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thanks so much, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Everybody that participated around the sign, I want to take a couple.
Okay. Okay. For all those that participated in some way, Betty, come on.
She probably came to her senses and knocked you out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Ryan, you gotta sit in the chair. Yeah. Like, we came down the step, microphone over.
Mark, why aren't you down here?
Mark, did I get the memo with the t-shirt?
Mark, come on. No, you guys help. Come on, y'all come back. I'm sure Linda's got one.
That means you have to have
Over
selfies.
that time.
Don't worry, Mark looked that clean when he was pressure washing.
All right, y'all ready? Smile like you like it. One more time. All right, that's the Porsche cam. Hang on a second. All right. All right, smile. One more time. Thanks, folks. I do want to say a special thank you to Linda and Richard Murray for being the brainchild behind this project. It's really one of those projects where you can actually see the outcome every year, and it's touching to be a part of it, and it's very touching for the recipients to be on the receiving side of such a generous thing. So thank you so much, guys. At this time, I will call public hearing portion of our meeting to order. We have a couple public hearings tonight, and the first public hearing is on a tax millage hearing for the fiscal year 2018-19 budget. Mayor and Council adopted the city budget on final reading June the 19th, 2018. The adopted budget for fiscal year 2018-19 is based on a recommended rate of 16.44 mils, same as it was in 2017-18. This rate has been advertised as required and is ready for adoption by council. This is the first of 3 hearings for that purpose. 3 hearings are required by the state due to the increase in residential property tax assessments. As had been well advertised, the Fulton County Property Digest for 2017 has yet to be approved by the state. The 2018 digest cannot be approved prior to the 2017 digest. The courts have approved a temporary collection order, what we call a TCO, for the billing districts to collect taxes based upon the current county appraisals. At this point, at this point in time, staff projects that the general fund millage rate of 16.44 mils will generate approximately $4.35 million in billable real property taxes. The city budgeted $3.95 million in real property taxes. The budget included a $340,000 transfer from the water sewer fund to meet the general fund commitments. Without the transfers, the city real property tax estimated budget needed to be $4.29 million. So that being said, I will open the floor up to citizens who would like to speak either for or against this. And I will start on my left-hand side of the room. If you would, if you have a comment, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and make your comment.
Larry Martin, 701 Campbell Circle. My first question is, when we were going over the proposed budget a couple of months ago, is the proposed budget what y'all agreed on? What was presented to y'all in writing?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Well, my first question then would be, why is it stated on the discussion sheet on the internet under the agenda for last month's work session, and it's also this month, that the requested amount is 3.95. It's not, it's 3.55. The whole time I've been hearing 3.95, but on the budget requested, you're requesting 3.55 for 2018. Last month we spoke of, for 2018, the real property revenue that which you requested according to the budget that you adopted was 3.55 million. That is 1.065. That's almost $1.07 million more than what is currently listed on your discussion sheet of the agenda, which is 4.615 million. You've gone from what you initially requested to operate the budget for the city of 3.55 to 4.615. That's $1.07 million more. Something's not right. And like I said the last meeting, I said that the budget could be met by setting the millage rate down 2.5 points to around 14. And Chloe, you echoed that same thing. You had also said you had already figured that out, around 14. And that's what I came up with. On your discussion sheet agenda for the agenda for August the 21st, which was last month, it was laid out on that discussion PDF file that the variance from the budget, from the requested budget y'all adopted, that you're requesting a variance of more of 665,000. Well, it's not really 665,000 what you're requesting more. You're requesting more from your published budget you adopted of 1.07 million. There's plenty of room to roll this millage rate back We've been told that, and told it, and told it for 12 years, and I'm tired of hearing the excuse of all the forward plan and all this other stuff. And I'm not the only one that's tired of hearing that excuse. If y'all want to be successful in running the city efficiently, this is the time now that you can act on something. You've got the money to do it. And last month, we spoke of possibly changing the homestead amount. That's not really an equitable solution for everybody, because so let's say, for example, you increase the homestead for $10,000. That's $164 less for people that own and live in their homes. But a more equitable solution would be to all the citizens and even the business owners in this city who have been paying more on this millage rate for the last 12 years to catch up when the assessments went up. Now that they've gone up, it's time to give everybody a break, not just homeowners that live in their homes. And there is a side benefit to decreasing the millage rate for everybody, not just the homeowners, because as businesses thrive, so does the city. You lower the millage rate for them, they thrive more. So keep that in mind. I'm definitely opposed to 6.1644 on the millage. You've got the money, it's time to act on it.
Thanks, Larry. Any other comments on my left? Sir?
Brendan Cornwell, 705 Campbell Circle. I've also spoken with Larry, and I own a few rental properties around town too. I've had some taken by Fulton, so it's not you. City of Fulton's taken some of mine from $60,000 to $230,000, and they're rental properties. And there's no way they're worth that much. Now, granted, I've appealed my property taxes, but I think the excuse for having a millage rate size you guys have had for so long, because the reason for that, as it was stated to me, was that everything here was so undervalued that we had to have a higher millage rate to collect the amount of money we needed to pay all the bills for the city. It doesn't seem to be the case anymore if people's property taxes are going up similar to what mine are. I think there's quite a few people around that have easily had a 100% increase. And I know a lot of that's the fault of the city of Fulton County, but you know, I don't think it's fair. I know fair is the wrong word to use in talking about government and taxes, but it's not fair to keep the millage rate where it is when the values of the properties come up as much as they have around here. And the actions y'all have taken have caused the property values to go up. And granted, the general economy has too, and everything else, but I think it would be a good idea to reassess and revisit what you think the millage rate should be for the city of Hinkle. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments on the left?
If you want me.
George?
George Rosen, 2108 Woodland Drive. Mr. Martin mentioned the Ford thing. If you look at the figures back then, though we did lose money from Ford, we gained money from tourism and trade. That money was about the same time. That money was used in the budget to pay bills. That's not true now, but it was then. So I don't think there was really a catching up that you guys keep on saying. It was there. We had the money. What we have instead is you may not be spending the money correctly.
Comments on my left? Am I right? Staff? Any staff comments?
No.
Okay. Council?
Actually, I'm going to ask Tim to clarify, because I don't have the sheet in front of me. Mr. Martin stated 3.55 versus 3.9. Can you clarify that for us?
Well, I just pulled up off the web what our budget was for 2018-19. That's on our website. And it's 3.95 billion for real property taxes.
Okay, so that's the figure that we have always looked at.
That's the number that we have provided since June. That's the number that was approved.
Okay, thank you.
Council, any other comments?
If there is a desire for a modification to the millage rate, is the appropriate time to discuss that now or at the third meeting?
It would need to be discussed prior to the final action. We have to take action on setting the millage rate. Yes.
Second. So we'll have two meetings. We have
Two meetings on the second,
Yeah, so it's the
10
second.
a.m. and 6 p.m.
Public comment. I have to follow the strict guidelines of a public hearing. I apologize. I've closed the public comments portion.
Is it a clear cut, if it's, say, if you reduced half a mil, the formula that you gave us for what each mil is worth, is it a simple division by 2?
Okay.
That was my question. So 15.94 in that case would be a, I want to paperwork with me right now, but it'd be around a reduction of 90,000, 92. So I mean, like, I asked that question,
1 mil is 280.
Public
sorry,
comment portion's closed, Larry. I'm sorry. I have to, when we have a public hearing, I have to follow the strict rules of a public hearing to be in compliance with the law. So I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just following the rules.
so if there was a desire to reduce in any form or fashion and or to provide extra homestead exemption, how does that, I guess, promulgate in terms of published hearings that have already been published?
That's the purpose of the hearing, is to
Right. It doesn't
land on
change,
millage rate.
it doesn't change the published hearings.
Still
If we-
like voting when it comes to.
Right,
Other
right.
hearings.
We vote to set the millage rate at X when we vote.
Right.
So after the final public hearing, there would be a vote.
Right.
Okay,
These
that's where I was
These
getting.
hearings are really meant to determine which direction you're gonna go in after they're finished.
The only word of caution I would add here is, there were 2 things I said in the background of this. 2017 digest hasn't been approved, nor has the 2018 digest. So we're basing both our budget and our desire on the millage rate upon numbers that we can't control. So, or that we don't know for certain what they're gonna be in. So that's the only point of caution I would urge. And I want to make a point too to the citizens as well. We're all taxpayers, so we feel this in the gut just like everybody else does. So I understand the frustration, especially